Hello, I'm Adriana. I'm a SoulPath Mastery Teacher and Guide. Today I thought we would do a quick past, present, future reading, looking at where you're headed in the spiritual realm, what you're resolving, and any other information that comes through about where you are right now. I am tapping into a specific energy, but please use this information responsibly and with the intention to empower yourself with a different perspective. Okay, card for the past, please. Present, future, and I kind of want to do another one just to show us who I'm reading for. Okay, King of Pentacles. All right, so this is in this deck, this is Virgo energy. So if you are a Virgo, this may be a message to you. It may be also about a Virgo, but King of Pentacles is looking at how we take care of ourselves inside and outside, spiritual wealth and material wealth coming together. But what I'm looking at, who I'm reading for, this is someone who is very grounded, very stable, and in their best self, in their best sense. They're very calm. They're a great advisor. They know exactly what to say. They're very practical. And there's a protector energy about them. They like to be, or I should say you like to be, making sure everyone around you is safe. There's also a knowledge about the interconnectedness of things. So you're definitely not a tunnel vision kind of person. You see how everything is interwoven. And I believe that is a big strength. Okay, the Moon in the past, Nine of Wands in the present, Nine of Swords in the future. So this is 999 because the Moon is 18, which is a 9. So 999 is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So I think that is something we need to be really aware of, that you are beginning a new cycle. But as you begin a new cycle, there is part of you that needs to learn how to let go of the old. The Moon in the past created some emotional confusion, a moment where you didn't really see what was going on clearly, and some old fears came up. And for a second, your path felt very misty or veiled, like you weren't certain you were on the right track after all. You were really doubting and questioning where you were. And I do believe some deep fears or some deeply held beliefs were triggered during this time. And I just keep getting that there was fear, because you weren't sure what you were afraid of. So it was almost like a fear of uncertainty or fear of not knowing. So fear of the unknown, I think that's what I'm trying to say. So, sometimes when you know a fear, it's a completely different emotional response. So for instance, I remember leading up to college, I had a lot of anxiety. I was really worried about a lot of stuff. I was lacking a lot of confidence and just really worried, but I knew what I was worried about. Obviously I was worried about unknowns, like I don't know who I'm going to talk to or how this is going to go or if I'm going to get lost or all that kind of stuff. It was the unknown creating the fear, but I knew what I was afraid of, and so that kind of gave me a direction. It made me understand what I needed to become more comfortable with. In your case, you weren't sure what was going to come next, like what's coming for the future. And so then, you just were feeling this nebulous fear. And in the future, we have this self-created, the Nine of Swords, being completely consumed by fear. And the Nine of Wands, I was getting them mixed up because it's two nines, right? The Nine of Wands in the middle is, I feel like there's actually a peace. You're at peace with your situation. You're at peace with where things are. And you're not afraid of hard work, but you are tired. It's like this emotional time really took a lot out of you, and you're not quite comfortable with how the future is going to go. That's why we have the Nine of Swords, completely worrying about what's going to happen. Can we get some clarity on the Nine of Swords, please? Is this self-created? Is this future action, future focus, future fate? What is the Nine of Swords? Judgment. Okay, so it's the fear of an ending. That's interesting. That something in the Moon and the Nine of Wands is kind of pushing you to want to transform. And there's a fear of letting go. There's a fear of, well, but where am I going to be pushed to go? How far am I going to be pushed? And I do love the lotuses on the Judgment card on the bottom. There's these yellow lotuses because this is about spiritual awakening, spiritual rebirth. And the Judgment is really asking you to rise up and see a different perspective. So what's really interesting is that in the Nine of Swords, she's sitting on the floor. She's on the floor of the dungeon. And then in the Judgment card, she is rising above, powered by this hurricane that's pushing her upwards over this cosmic egg. So it's time to understand that right now your soul is calling you forward. And you may be really afraid of what that means, afraid of what you're going to have to let go of, afraid of what the future looks like. But at this time, your soul is talking to you. And we started with the King of Pentacles, and whenever the soul is involved, the soul is trying to make you stronger, more whole, more complete in yourself. And so what's also really cool about this is there's the cosmic bear, right, in the eagle, and the totem for the King of Pentacles are bears. So that's really interesting to me. Also, I don't know if you noticed on the Moon as well as the Nine of Wands, it's the same black and white dog or black and white wolves. So we're going from the dogs or the wolves to the bears. And again, bear is the symbol of awakening, like hibernation. They wake up. And what I believe this is about is letting go of the fears, because wolves with our culture are associated with fear, the big bad wolf, that kind of thing. I know there's other meanings too, like loyalty and playfulness and stuff like that, but right now I'm getting the feeling of fear. But when you know something, you cannot be afraid of it. So I think what this is about is being open to alternate, deeper, higher, bigger ways of knowing, bigger things of knowing, parts of your worldview that you may not have considered or need to be challenged. So it's like, welcome the challenge. That's kind of what I'm getting here, is welcome the challenge, welcome the new perspective, because your soul is pushing you forward with this. This isn't ego driven. And so rather than resisting the future, being open to it, understanding that if you have to let something go, if you have to face an ending, that it's actually a newer beginning on more solid ground. One last message here. Three of Swords. Man, these swords are really coming out. And again, the Three of Swords is the indication of an ending, but the heartache that comes with an ending. Okay, so what's the message with our Three of Swords? So at the end of this whole spread, the whole message, this is about purging fear. You understanding that the fear you're holding on to is keeping you from your highest destiny as the master of the earth, the King of Pentacles. And this is everything you're going through, facing, holding, releasing, coming to terms with. All of this is the purging of your fear. in order to have your true divine self, more of your true divine self come in. And what does that mean, practically speaking? That means a higher capacity to love, more courage in your heart, and that you're not captive to your fears. When we're captive to our fears, we don't do things all the way. We don't show up as ourselves. We're always kind of looking over our shoulder, waiting for something to go wrong or for someone to take advantage of us. And so it's not a full life. It's a hunted life when you are living in fear, because you're always worried about what's coming, what you can't see coming. When you live in a space of expanding love, you trust that whatever is happening for you. Even if it's negative, you understand it's leading to a more positive development or growth. And you have nothing to lose, really, by changing your mentality to expect that things will work out for you in the end. Fear doesn't want you to believe that. Fear wants you to always stay stuck. Fear doesn't want you to grow and doesn't want you to come into your sovereignty as the king. Is there anything else? The other big message in this is to distinguish between imagination and reality. Imagined fears are going to be worse than real fears. And your imagination can really take hold and really make things pretty crazy for you. So, keep that in mind as you're sifting through this 999 message here. This is the ending of fear. This is it. Okay, there's nothing to be afraid of here, but this is a big moment for you. All right, a life forward without fear. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to do a couple more astrology readings shortly, and I hope that if your sign is in doubt, that you'll look at your sign pretty soon. I'll probably get to the rest of them tomorrow. And if you are looking for more individual guidance, I do offer readings, astrology readings, tarot readings, and helping you learn how to align your mind, body, and heart together, mind, body, and soul together in your soul's path. So please check out soulguidancewithAdriana.com, or there's a link to my email in the description below. So I'll look forward to seeing you soon.